timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl! Brady has his fifth! 13! 13! Can you believe it?
Hey guys, welcome back to the Locker Room Podcast. I'm your host, Oliver, as always, joined by the big fella, Lachie.
How are we, mate?
Happy New Year.
You too.
To everyone else out there, Happy New Year.
It's the new year of the locker room.
Yep. And maybe some big changes. We're eventually going to get this room set up.
We need to pull our finger out with this.
I've got this weekend free, and I know that you're busy, so I'll try and decide which room I would put it in and get all the stuff set up. And we might even have some extra fixtures to add to the room that might make it look better. So
yes,
we'll sort that out. We'll get there eventually.
Watch this space.
But I would ask what you did for your New Year's, but I already know what you did. So we went to the cricket.
We were yes. That was good fun.
And Australia absolutely spanked them.
Yep. I mean, we're not really massive cricket watchers, but we it was still good fun to go to. The atmosphere was really, really good. I think we ended up, what did we have, like 36,000 or something?
No, there was
60,000. It was like 30 the next day, I think. Yeah, so it was atmosphere was elite.
Yeah,
absolutely
all the
elite.
Warnie hats. Annoying Sharpie because Warner was absolutely tearing it up.
He wasn't that test. He teared it up in the next test.
He played well at the very end of the day. He got like 30 runs quickly. But who was it? Stark got a couple of wickets.
Stark absolutely dominated.
That pissed him off.
Absolutely dominated.
We tried to get Brad on for this, and for reasons why it's probably lucky he didn't come on. But we're going to be going over the NFL this week. So we'll go back to NBA maybe next week. We'll do a mixture. But it's all about NFL. And as you can see, I've got the GOAT on my shirt because he's still in the playoffs. Whether they do anything, we'll discuss later. But before we get into the preview of the coming games this week, I just want to touch on some of the games. So obviously all of our teams on the podcast didn't make the playoffs, even Sharpies, the Saints.
Shit. We beat them last week.
We'll go with the Panthers first. I was hearing something today that you're the second richest team in the have the second richest owners in the league. So whether you go out and get a big head coach, obviously Sean Payton, maybe even the Harbaugh that's at Michigan. I think it's
Michigan.
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim and John's at Baltimore.
Yeah, so you could. I'm not saying you could easily go out and get one of them, but did have you had a shocking start. But I think whoever you've got. I think he's got an interim coach. I can't remember his name. But for the second half of the year, you nearly made the playoffs. If you didn't lose,
we actually played really well. As soon as we got rid of Baker Mayfield, we actually started playing really good. I think we just got to stick with Sam Darnold. I really do. We just got to stick with him, build around him a little bit. I think it was quite good.
Yeah, well, you did win 5 games. I think it was 5 out of 6 or something like that. And if you didn't give up 3 touchdowns to Mike Evans and the Buccaneers and only lose and give up a lead, you would be in the playoffs right now.
How about them Cowboys?
Hello, Frizy.
What's going on? Hello, podcast.
And how about them Cowboys? Well, there you go. There's Frizy's first appearance. I'll go touch on the Patriots just quickly. Obviously, we lost to the Bills. It was probably expected, especially after the week.
Yeah, you were in it though.
Yeah, and I mean, you couldn't script a better. Even as a Patriots fan, you couldn't script a better start to that game. Obviously, all the emotions around DeMar Hamlin and everything. Returning the opening kickoff for a touchdown, and then he does it a second time. I mean, that kind of screwed us. And there was a throw that Josh Allen had.
You can't give away 2. No. And you just cannot do it.
I was pretty impressed though with the offense. Josh Allen did throw an absolute bomb of a touchdown. I don't know. He just dropped it in a bucket.
Literally.
Matt Jones, that first half, I think he had first 3 quarters had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. But then
Mm.
obviously towards the latter stage of the game, he had to start trying to just force it, and he ended up getting 3 interceptions.
And that always happens. Like,
yeah,
I think Buffalo got a couple of quick touchdowns. That one, that deep ball that Josh Allen threw. You just got that sense that, shit was about to hit the fan. They got those quick touchdowns, and then you literally just have to. That's all you can do, really.
And at that stage, you don't really care about your stats. So I don't think anyone's really worried about Mac Jones throwing 3 interceptions because,
there's still rumors that Bill Belichick's going to go around another year. So that's another year under the greatest.
I think, like, now, obviously, I wouldn't know, but because I'm not into it much, that sort of thing. But with the coaching of the Patriots, but they had Matt Patricia, obviously more known as a defensive coach, calling the offensive plays, and you saw frustrations throughout the year. Now, obviously, Bill Belichick's son is I don't know, is he the defensive coordinator, or he might just be the linebacker?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
One or the other, but I think if they got Matt Patricia to be the defensive coordinator again, that would help, and then get a proper offensive play caller in. Like, obviously, going from Josh McDaniels to Patricia isn't always the best thing, but
no. Patricia had a stint at but he did have a stint at Detroit, where he was the head coach there. So like he's done time, and like it's not like he's a
he's one of my favorite
dumbass.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite people on the coaching staff.
Yeah,
but, in the league in general, but obviously he probably shouldn't be the offensive play caller. I prefer much him on defense. But we'll move off the Patriots to the man that's behind you, the Packers, and Aaron Rodgers choking
it. Man.
You could say choking it, but we've spoken to Brad already since, and I wanted the Lions to make the playoffs, just the way that they played towards the end of the year. But what are your thoughts, I guess, on the Packers? Obviously, they had a shocking start. They weren't even expected to make the playoffs. They were 4-8, but
I reckon if Aaron Rodgers stays next year, the way that the rookies this year, like first few games, I was like, shit, this is going to be a long year. I reckon if they stay, and if Aaron Rodgers stays on, they will be very, very scary next year.
So I guess that's.
But on the defensive end, they've got to get something. It's been their downfall, apart from the years where they were winning the Super Bowl, like they had Clay Matthews, all those sorts of players. We know what Aaron Rodgers is capable of, and like even those rookies, like some of those rookies showed up big time the second half of the year and got them to where they pretty much were. But they just got to get players in the defensive end.
And like I think last year, not this season, the year before, their defense was actually good. It's just, and there has been times where obviously people might say Aaron Rodgers isn't as great as he usually is in the playoffs. But I think that he's just been not unlucky, but he has had a few bad games against the 49ers and stuff with that have great defenses, which isn't obviously easy to deal with. But like you said, they need more consistency with their defense. And like, obviously Rodgers getting used to his rookies and everything was going to take time.
Oh, absolutely.
So do you see him coming back next year? Because I think there's
been a lot of words. He's not giving anything away, but he never does. You never know with him. I reckon you'll find out more info from Pat McAfee when he joins the. Because I've been listening to his podcast on the podcast, his shows. Absolutely hilarious. On the train the last couple of days, and because he's like a really, really good mate with him, and he goes on there quite a bit. I reckon you'll probably hear more from him than anyone else. But like they've just got. On offense, they've got so many weapons, like dead set, apart from wide receiver, but they've probably found a couple this season. I reckon
they got Lazard, who had a really good season, but now there's murmurs coming out about him possibly wanting to exit next year, but I don't think he will.
They just need Yeah, no, I don't think you should either. They just need more depth at receiver.
Yeah.
But there's so many players, there's so many positions that they need to fill though. Like there's always a worry when they're bringing in Randall Cobb, who's it's been really good, but he's past it, and the images of them walking off, embracing each other, I'm like, that's giving a bit away.
I think it definitely will be Cobb's last try. I don't think he'll go around again.
No.
I think Aaron Rodgers will. I kind of hope he does as well, so he doesn't end on you don't want to see a great quarterback not make the playoffs. I feel like
exactly.
Especially like someone like him that's the second best behind Brady, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe second best. There's a lot of good quarterbacks, so that's a different debate. But I think he's going to stay on. Now, I would touch on the Saints, but I don't really think anyone cares about the Saints. Sorry, Sharpie. So I think we should
living in your head rent free.
I think we should just go on to the first game of the upcoming weekend, which is the Seattle Seahawks, who sadly got. I mean, it's good for them that they got in, but I prefer the Lions versus the 49ers. Now, 49ers would have been favourite if Garoppolo was healthy, but they've got Brock Purdy. What's his name? He used the nickname Mr. Irrelevant in college was his nickname. He went second last pick, I think, for the draft, and now he's actually playing really good. Where do you feel like this is going to be a lobsided game? Because I mean, you never know what Seattle are going to be good. Up.
That's the thing. You never know what they're going to put up, and San Fran, they've still got enough. They've still got Deebo Samuel. They've still got Christian McCaffrey. They've still got all these absolute bloody superstars on their team to be able to do what they need to do, and they've definitely got enough on the defensive end as well. So it just sucks because Garoppolo they were my pick. They were seriously my pick to go all the way that they were playing, but now they're not. But they'll still go a fair way. I still think they'll beat Seattle by a couple of touchdowns at least. Are they playing on Sunday or Monday?
Sunday. It says Saturday on here on the NFL website, so
so it'll be Sunday for us. Great. So I'll probably be driving home. Fabulous. Or I'll be hungover as hell. But I think San Fran will still win. I still think they've got enough to go to the to go to the conference game. I reckon they'll go there. I don't think they'll make the Super Bowl, unfortunately, because I think they'll run into the Chiefs. Wrong conference.
Wrong conference. Sorry.
I was looking at the thing today.
We'll get onto it. It's like the Eagles and all the Vikings and all that.
Yeah, because Jalen Hurts is a Viking. So speaking of irrelevant,
we'll get onto it.
Fucking hell. They're seriously, they're like the Minnesota Timberwolves to me in the NBA. The most frustrating team.
They just both happen to be in Minnesota.
That's a fair point. Frustrating the shit out of me.
I guess. Are you kind of hoping for the 49ers to win as well? Because obviously McCaffrey leaving.
Yeah, I've always got a soft spot for McCaffrey.
Yeah.
It sucks because I didn't want that the way it ended there. Like it obviously didn't end badly, but I didn't want him to go. But and then you see him go to San Fran. Now all of a sudden he's like Pro Bowl. Like, hello.
Well, not the MVP.
Like you don't just but he was seriously playing like that in the last half of the year. It's just like what were they thinking? But Carroll are far out. We're an absolute shit show. No coach. Matt Rule came in and but anyway, I don't know where we're at a minute.
But no, I think I honestly think that Garoppolo is one of the most underappreciated quarterbacks in the league. Like the stats, if you put his stats next to some of the elite quarterbacks, he's up there with passing percentages, touchdowns, and he has minimal turnovers. So it's it's just confusing how he gets disrespected all the time because Trey Lance. I don't think Trey Lance is going to start for him next year. I don't think he will.
It'll be interesting.
I think Garoppolo will actually get back to start.
You've got to get to a time where you've got to draw a line and be like, do we look to the future or do we invest another 2 years.
But that's the thing.
But then
and
you're
that-
wasting
yeah.
development in Trey Lance. Like, what do you
I
do?
was about to say you're either wasting development on Trey Lance or you're wasting your perfect team to win a Super Bowl right now. With
But it's the same
McCaffrey,
as Green Bay. Like, they've got Rodgers, but then they've got Jordan Love as well, waiting behind him as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, I think, but I think the 49ers are going to not blow them out, but I think they'll win by 2 touchdowns.
I reckon it'll be a couple of touchdowns, yeah.
It's been a good story for Geno Smith, though. I think he
100%.
broke the passing.
Been around everywhere, yep.
Broken the passing yards record held by Russell Wilson.
He's done a lot better than his predecessor, let's say that.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's gone to a team that was meant to be in the playoffs and a Super Bowl contender to not even make the playoffs. But
well, that's right.
Yeah, so I think it's.
Do I need to get the video up?
Broncos
not going to do that.
That's right.
That's right.
No, but it's been a good season for the Seahawks. I just hope it ends here.
100% overachieved. 100% overachieved.
And talk about overachievers. Maybe not overachievers. We'll move on to our next game. The Chargers versus the Jaguars. Now, I don't think.
Oh, yes.
I don't think that anyone really thought the Jags will make the playoffs this year.
No. So happy.
It kind of feels like the Jags are the Bengals of last season. Obviously, the Bengals went to the Super Bowl. The Jags probably won't. But the way that like their running back, I think, is Etienne. I think it's Etienne. He's been a fucking jet. And
absolute
then like
dog.
Their wide receiver, like he hasn't got the best wide receiving core, but they've actually played very well. Like a couple of them have got.
Yeah, but if your quarterback puts it in the right spots, they can make you look bloody good.
And he's playing unreal at this stage. Like he didn't have the best game last weekend.
Up with the most informed quarterbacks in the league right now. And at a good time.
In saying that, though, they're going up against a stacked Chargers team that's got an elite defense, and their offense possibly
can literally click at any time and go off.
Yeah, I think they might be without Mike Williams. I think it's Mike Williams that's injured. But they've still got Keenan Allen. And Austin Eckler, who obviously is probably the best running back this year, or one of the best, other than Raiders. Where do you see this game going? Because I have a soft spot for the Chargers just because I really like Justin Herbert.
I've got a soft spot for the Jags, but
I do too. But I have a soft spot for the Jags because it feels like they've just been dog shit for so long.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't,
and I find it funny. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey won his chip.
Yeah,
I get that. But he's left Jacksonville to go to LA, and now they're not in the playoffs, and Jacksonville are. Like, I think that's just fucking brilliant. But I'm pretty sure that Ramsey being traded got them Lawrence in the end.
Yeah, it probably. Yeah, they would have been given up a fair bit.
I wouldn't need to confirm that, but
it's worked out for
both
both
someone
sides.
That big, 100%.
But yeah, I guess I like Jacksonville, but I don't love Trevor Lawrence, but I don't not like him. I do enjoy watching him play. He's just
him and Joe Burrow, I think, are going to be the two for that longer period of time than Mahomes and like Herbert and all these guys, but they're the two up and coming. Absolutely,
like the quarterback's 100%. Coming through.
I seen a thing today that out of the starting quarterbacks in what are the Chiefs today in the AFC
with the Bills.
Mahomes is the oldest starting quarterback, and he's 27. Really? Yeah, because there's like him, Herbert, Joe Burrow. I'd have Trevor to get Lawrence. The others up as well. Yeah, like oldest, and he's 27.
And 27. Lamar Jackson and all that. Yeah, that's crazy.
There's still whispers that Lamar may not start.
We'll get to it,
but we'll get to that. Obviously,
we'll get to it. So, what's your prediction?
I've got Jacksonville. I honestly think they're in better form than the Chargers at the moment.
Chargers
consistently.
Lost, I think. Did the Chargers lose last week?
I don't know. I have to have a look.
I think they might have.
I don't know, but I think Jacksonville are the most informed team out of those two, so I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
Yeah, the Chargers lost to the Broncos.
Yeah, that's dog shit.
Yeah.
That's not a form line. If you're backing a horse with that form line, you fucking
As I'm
retarded.
checking some horse racing right now.
Who would have thought?
So how much do you reckon will be a touchdown Jacksonville win
No,
by?
I reckon it'll probably be like a field goal, to be honest with you. Won't be much at all.
I think it will I'm gonna back the Chargers, but I think it can be a close game, but the Chargers offense might at some stage just blow it out to a 2-touchdown game.
They can do that every week. So it very well could.
Don't hold me to it, but if I'm right, hold me to it.
Okay.
Now, I don't think we're going to touch on this next game for long because this is probably going to be a blowout. The Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills. The Dolphins are going to... It sounds like Teddy Bridgewater is probably going to be the starting quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
I guess, how much do you think the Bills win by? Because that's the real question. Like, the Bills are going to win. It would be one of the biggest upsets if they don't win.
Yeah, 100%. I reckon it'll be 3 touchdowns plus. Let's check what the line is while you keep going. I'll check what the line is.
I think, like, it's been strange as well for the Dolphins camp. A few things came out about whether Mike McDaniels, I think I got his name right, would stay on head coach for the Dolphins. And it's like, shit, you'd think it's a no-brainer. If he got let go of the Dolphins, one of those teams looking for a head coach would pick him up straight away. He's been one of the best head coaches this year.
Carolina, if he gets let off and we don't pick him up, I will be furious.
It's just like Tua's been out half the time, and then Tua's been 50-50 when they've been playing. But when they've had the full team fully healthy, their teams looked unreal.
So the handicap betting is only at 9.5.
Oh, I'd be going overs for Dolphins defense is good, but I don't think it's good enough.
They're not going to score enough points, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know, because Bills defense is still they're all round good. But I think we're just both going Bills by a blowout, so we don't need to stick on to that one. Next one, your frustrating team, Minnesota Vikings versus the New York Giants, who I'm actually glad to see in the playoffs.
This is going to be a very interesting game because who knows what the fuck you're going to get from either side.
Well, they played
honestly
one time this year, and it was like, it was like heavy snow in Minnesota, and I think the Vikings won by like a 55-60 yard field goal. So it should be a close game. And Daniel Jones, I've just been...
He's playing good.
Yeah.
Him and apart from obviously the superstars, him and Trevor Lawrence are the two informed quarterback, like the sneaky informed quarterback.
And like last year, people were giving him shit.
100% they were.
Quarterback and stuff. And now he's just proved them all wrong. And that's why you just love stories like that. And I hope they win one, because obviously I don't even think the Giants fan themselves think that they're going to make it a real push. But with their new coach, who obviously everyone in New York seems to love, you see all the stuff on Twitter about it. And Saquon Barkley being fresh. I'm going to say Barkley. I think whether you call it an upset or not, because the rankings are not, I'm not too sure. But I honestly think the Giants are going to steal a win here, because you just don't know what you're going to get from Kirk Cousins. I don't know if it's stealing though. Well, yeah, that's exactly right. I don't know if it's classed as an upset or not, but you don't know what you're going to get from Kirk Cousins. He could go off and have 350 yards or something and a couple of touchdowns, or he can
be an absolute bum like he was a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, against
Packers.
Was it Dallas?
It was
the Packers. That's right. The Packers smacked them. Yeah, absolutely smacked them up. And that's when I thought, I'm like, shit. If the Packers get in, this is on now.
Yeah.
And sorry, Brad. We all know what happens after that.
So I guess
I'm going the Giants.
Vikings do have Justin Jefferson, who has had an unreal year, but
he's relying on his fucking quarterback. Yeah, that's the problem.
Exactly right.
That's the problem.
And it's in Minnesota, isn't it?
Don't know.
Yeah, I think it's in
actually.
Minnesota, US Bank Stadium. Yeah,
Mm,
I'm pretty sure that's
yeah.
Minnesota.
All the games. So the Seattle games at 8:30 a.m. on Sunday, and then the Jacksonville games on 12:15 p.m. I'm going to be in no state to watch pretty much any game.
I'll be in all this. I was
Fuck
kind of
my
hoping for a better
life.
game at Sunday morning, but that Sunday midday is perfect. I was kind of hoping to watch. Yeah, we'll move on anyway. So we're both taking the Giants, which is a surprise. I
Yep.
thought one of us may have taken the
Mm-mm.
Vikings.
No.
Now on to possibly the worst game of the weekend. It is going to be proper dog shit, probably, but it's got the goat in it. So
So you're going, yeah. Sorry, your Google thing is different to the NFL website. Sorry.
we're going Dallas, Tampa Bay. Now, Dallas got absolutely blown out last week, and Dak Prescott played absolutely dog shit. Sorry, I'm just checking my phone because my horse is absolutely decided.
Horsey.
Yeah, it's just lost by like 3 lengths. Anyway, back to my point.
Back to the more important things.
Yeah, Prescott. Well, you could argue that Prescott passed 14 for 37. Played absolutely dog shit and lost to the Commanders, who I think had a 3rd-string quarterback in, and were just really playing for nothing in the end. I think they had a slim chance of getting in, but they were never going to get in. Going up against
had to have a lot of things go right.
Going up against a Buccaneers team that's just been fucking horrible, except for Brady and Mike Evans at times. What do you see happening this game? Because obviously the Cowboys defense, when they're on, they're elite. But it's just like, I don't know if Tony Pollard's fully healthy or not, but
they're so reliant on turnovers on the defensive end, though.
Yeah.
And if they don't get that, then yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I can guarantee after last week, Tom Brady's not going to fucking want to give the ball away. So he's going to come out and he's going to be absolutely like fucking cherry ripe. He's going to make sure. I honestly think the Cowboys are fucking see you later gone. Mike McCarthy could be in a bit of trouble.
I hope he's not. I like Mike McCarthy as a coach.
So do I.
But I think you're right though. I don't think the Cowboys win here. I don't see them. I think it's classed as an upset, even though as bad as they played, the season that they've had, they would have been going in as one of the hot teams with the Eagles.
Yep.
And then they just started to disappoint and continuously be disappointing.
Yep. Is there a bracket thing out? We're probably going to go into this at the end. You may be one step ahead of me, but
no, I think we're not going to do a proper bracket and predict future matchups. We'll just give our initial.
I will do it.
We'll do our initial teams at the end that we think are going to make the Super Bowl, and that's it. So we'll leave it at that. But
I don't actually know if there even is one.
In saying that,
keep going. Sorry, I'll try and figure this
So,
out.
how much do you think the Buccaneers win by? Do you think it's going to be a touchdown? Do you think it's going to be?
I think it'll be a touchdown at most. I think it'll be close game still.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be too high scoring. I think the defenses might come out on top, but I could be wrong. And I think the Buccaneers are going to win as well. They're going to be my tip. And,
I'm going with the Bucs too.
And no, your thing was not wrong. I've just skipped a game. I've accidentally scrolled past the Bengals versus the Ravens.
Who would have thought?
And the Bengals just played the Ravens before. But obviously Lamar Jackson could be playing. It's not secretive, but it's just very unknown about what's happening there.
But that's just what he's like.
Yeah. And if he's not playing, they've got no chance. I feel like if he is playing, they've got
absolutely no chance.
If he is playing, they've got a slight chance. But I'm still taking the Bengals, and I really hope the Bengals can make another push for the Super Bowl.
So do I. If their O-line stays healthy, I heard a few little whispers about their O-line maybe not being healthy. If their O-line can stay healthy through this playoff run, that's the only thing that let them down last year. They didn't have anyone to be able to protect.
He got sacked so many times. The man
was like, it's pretty much just like backing back into a pack in a game of footy and copping it about 10 times in a game. Like, fuck that.
And I think
Not that you ever did that, but
cheap shots. But no, I think the Bengals win this one no matter
I think
with
they
or
do
with
as well. I
with
think
or
they're
without Lamar.
with or without, yeah, because Lamar's not going to be 100%, so I don't think he's going to be able to do everything that he usually does.
Maybe we can have some McPherson magic again from similar to
Maybe.
last year. But I think it's
What did he go like?
he had 3 game-winning field goals in a row.
That's right. Yeah,
3
that's
playoff
right.
games in a row. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I called the third one, so I was happy with that one. But
True.
Against Kansas City, which leads me on to my next point. If everything goes as we expect, the Bengals would verse the Bills the week after. I think the Chiefs are so lucky that the only way that they're going to face the Bengals is if the Bengals beat the Bills. Because if it was the other way around and the Bengals versus the Chiefs the second round, I honestly think that they would beat them because I think they got 3 wins in a row against the Chiefs and they've just dominated them.
Yep.
So I think the Bills are going to probably end up knocking them off anyway, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm getting too far.
It's funny how it's worked though. Hey, like since you've bet Kansas City and Kansas City have beaten the Bills, like the Bills just can't beat Kansas City. Cannot do it.
And it's so like they should have won last year. Like 13 seconds left, and you just had to not give up a field goal. But no, I think it's just so strange. This leads to the final question. We're about to finish up the podcast. What 2 teams do you see coming from the AFC and the NFC? The AFC is obviously probably the hardest because you got the Bills, the Bengals, the Chiefs. Obviously, they're the quarterbacks in that, and even the Chargers if you want to chuck them in there.
Yeah, I can't see the Dolphins or the Ravens getting through anyway.
The quarterbacks in that conference are just absolutely
stacked. Yeah.
Whereas you look at the NFC right now, other than like you can't really trust any quarterback.
I can only see the Eagles or the 49ers coming out of that.
But the Brock Purdy's probably the only quarterback you can trust right now. Obviously, Jalen Hurts is coming back from injury. But
he'll still be good. Yeah, they're a totally different team when he's there, though.
But like totally excluding the Eagles, Brock Purdy's probably the one that you can trust the most. Obviously, you can trust Brady, but the Buccaneers are just being dog shit.
It's just what's around Brady, though. Like, there's nothing there.
So I guess what 2 teams do you see?
He goes to the 49ers next year.
Well, yeah.
Holy hell.
Or the Dolphins, maybe.
Fuck.
Or the Dolphins.
Nah.
They said.
49ers. Fucking give him a year with Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, fucking
George Kittle.
Kelsey, George Kittle, like aka Gronkowski. Fucking see you later. And then their defense. Holy moly.
So what 2 teams, if you had to pick an AFC and an NFC team, I've got the 49ers just because I want to see them in the Super Bowl. I think a rookie quarterback.
The 49ers and the Eagles.
Yeah, it'd be one of them.
They're the only 2 I can confidently say. There's still a couple that you would say, yeah, maybe. Like, whereas if you look at the AFC, like there's seriously 5 that I would say could. If you put those 5 in a ring right now, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, and like it would just be so cool for like a rookie quarterback to be starting in the Super Bowl, third string at the start of the year, and now he's starting in the Super Bowl. So I'm going 49ers, and my heart wants to say the Bengals again.
Yeah, I'm the same.
But if it's not the Bengals, I hope it's the Bills. They actually, and anyone but the Chiefs. I just don't want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
As good as they are and as great as they are to watch, I'll be watching and I'll
You just get sick of the same teams, don't you?
It's like I really just don't want to see them anywhere near it. The Bills need to get in there the next 2 or 3 years, you'd think. So who are you going with? Final decision here.
Out of the AFC?
Just AFC and NFC. What matchup do you reckon we'll get?
Be in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I reckon 49ers and the Bengals.
And
Yeah,
who would
it's
you
the same as
take
you,
to
isn't
win
it?
that?
Bengals.
Ooh,
A healthy team. I reckon.
I'm taking the Bills to win the Super Bowl this year against the 49ers. But I'll be happy with either one winning, even though that's a bit different to hear from a
Soft.
Patriots supporter. But that's just what I think. All right. Thanks for joining us, Lachie.
Pleasure, mate.
And I know I
Pleasure as
said
always.
I'd leave it out this year, but I'm going to do it anyway. Thanks for listening, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify. I've got to plug that at the start more, but we'll see you next week for NBA and NFL action.
Let's go.
Bye.